I would like to begin with a little backstory. I was born and grew up on the southernmost part of England. If you do a little research on the internet, you will find that there are many hauntings and paranormal activity happening on the coastal areas of the United Kingdom. When I was a child, I had witnessed many paranormal experiences, from seeing shadow people and feeling ominous presences when my parents weren't home, to hearing voices in the walls even though we were living in a detached house. However, the experiences in this story changed my life forever. College had just ended. None of my friends had decided to get summer jobs, and they were becoming increasingly bored. I suggested we do something that I used to do in my childhood. My childhood home was across the road from a cemetery, and at night we would sneak out of the house, jump the wall, and explore the cemetery, daring each other to traverse deeper. My friends thought it was a great idea, and we decided that we would go explore a cemetery that very night. There were 4 of us in our group of friends. Daniel picked me up from home, and we met up with the rest of the group around 11 p.m. They were already waiting at the entrance of the cemetery. I could already see the apprehension on their faces. We jumped the gate at one end and planned to exit at the other end. I noticed that we were not our usual loud, chatty selves. We were all almost immediately on edge. We all felt the same heightened sensation. However, we continued walking and jumping at any little movement we would see or imagined. Some time into the walk, I heard what sounded like a young woman singing or humming. It sent chills down my spine. Even now, as I tell it, I feel the chills traveling down my spine and hairs standing on end. I tried to ignore it, as not to freak out my friends. But it was too late. Daniel heard it too. He told us to be quiet in a hushed voice. "Do any of you hear that?" he said. By now, we were all hearing this humming, singing sound. One of my friends didn't even say anything. He just turned around and ran back to the entrance of the cemetery. We all followed suit. We jumped into our cars and headed straight to the city. We spoke a little about what we experienced and what that singing, humming sound could have been. We did explore more cemeteries in the coming weeks, but nothing that was noteworthy to be told. Even though the first experience scared us half to death, it was an adrenaline rush, and we were looking for another one. A few weeks later, one of my friends had an idea of exploring derelict buildings with paranormal history. We found one local to us. It was around 13 miles or so from where we lived. We arrived shortly before sunset. We scouted the area for security guards or surveillance cameras. Luckily for us, there wasn't any. A couple hours passed, and darkness had truly set in. There wasn't much luminosity from the streetlights, just the little brightness that shined down from the moon. However, we were already there, so we proceeded to cut through the fence and into the courtyard. Ominous, eerie aura oozed from the building. We pulled away a board that was nailed to one of the windows and climbed in. We were all close together, having a great time, making sounds, trying to scare one another. But when we got to the upper floor, we decided to split up. Myself and Daniel went right, and our other friends went left. I entered the first room on the right, and Daniel entered the room adjacent to me. I heard Daniel gasp, and then a loud smack sound. I quickly ran into the room with Daniel. I saw him on the floor and quickly rushed to him. I asked him if he was all right, and if he was trying to play a prank on us. He was laying on the floor speechless. He mumbled something but couldn't make out any words. I shined my light on his face, and what I saw shocked me. The absolute fear in his eyes, and on the right side of his face was a large red mark in the shape of a hand. A thin hand, but you could make out the fingers. His face resembled what you would see in a stroke patient. The right side of his face was drooping, and he had no control of the muscles in that part of his face. I quickly shouted to the others and told them we needed to leave immediately. When the others saw him, they almost burst into tears. You could see the literal fear in their eyes and the blood drain from their faces. We exited the building quickly and made our way to the nearest emergency room. We didn't even know what to tell the doctor at the hospital. We just said he fell down and hit his face. They kept him overnight, suspecting that he had a stroke. Tests later revealed that he did not suffer a stroke. In fact, he had healthy brain signals. They released him after a few weeks since there was nothing more they could do. The doctors were baffled and they had never seen anything like this. Fast forward 12 years to present day. Daniel's mental health has regressed significantly. His mental health is what a child's capacity is at. He has never recovered physically, mentally, or regained his speech. Because of his lack of speech, we will never know what he saw or what happened to him that night. All I can say is, we have never done anything like that ever again.